After burying her second stillborn child with her own hands, Isabella completely fell apart. She'd lie in bed every day, silent tears streaming down, refusing to speak to anyone, her husband, the doctor, everyone. For over 2 weeks. The only thing that got her out of the house was the need to be at the cliffside cemetery with her kids. Staring at that fresh driftwood cross, Isabella's chest ached. Underneath lay the baby who'd never taken a breath. Like self-torture, she let her mind drag her back to that afternoon she lost the baby, the struggle and pain churning in her gut. But no matter how she screamed, she couldn't change the fact that he was gone. The pain was as raw as the day it happened. Isabella collapsed onto the grass, helpless, but she choked back sobs, scared to wake her kids' sleeping souls. She closed her eyes, trying to hold on to the memory of being with her babies. Suddenly she sat bolt upright, straining to hear something in the distance. It wasn't a dream. Through the crashing waves, there were real baby cries. Isabella took off running toward the sound, heart pounding. Tom heard it too. They raced to the boat washed up on shore, and inside was a dead man and a wailing newborn girl. Isabella snatched the baby from Tom's arms, hugging her tight as she ran home. On pure mom instinct, she started changing the screaming baby's diaper. Her hands were so gentle, so sure, like she'd done this 1,000 times before. She'd prepared her whole heart to be a mom, but fate kept stealing that chance from her. Tom watched her work in silence, his eyes heavy with grief. But this wasn't their baby. He had to stop her. As the island's lighthouse keeper, he had a duty to report any weirdness, and this baby belonged somewhere else. Isabella called out, begging him to give her just a little more time with the baby. Tom froze. He knew what she really wanted. This wasn't about just a little more time. But those pleading eyes got to him. He caved, promising to wait till morning to report it. What he didn't know was how wanting one night could turn into needing her forever. That's exactly what happened with Isabella. After one night, she couldn't let go, convinced this sea-born baby was a gift from God. Why else would a strong man die in that storm, but this tiny newborn survive? Just thinking about giving her up tore Isabella apart. Through tears, she begged Tom not to report it, to keep the baby.
She's here. She needs us. Please don't do it. Please.
From the start, Tom knew it was wrong. This good, honest man tried to talk her out of it, to stay on the right side of the line. But in the end, he folded, becoming her partner in this thing. He couldn't think straight through her tears, and it took him back to that night that broke them. It was a stormy night, and as lighthouse keeper, he had to report any emergencies to the military in town. So he left his pregnant wife alone to check on the lighthouse in the storm. That's when everything went wrong. While Tom lit the lamp and watched the sea, Isabella, just up the path, felt a sharp pain, and blood started to flow. Panic hit her. All she could think about was saving her baby. She fought through the storm toward the lighthouse, screaming his name. But Tom was too focused on his logbook to hear her cries. Next morning, he opened the lighthouse door and found her unconscious on the doorstep. He rushed her home, but it was too late. They'd lost their first baby. After that, Isabella spiraled. She refused doctors, refused to believe she couldn't carry a baby. As soon as she could, she badgered Tom to try again, to bring back the baby they'd lost. They kept at it, and finally, Isabella got pregnant again. This time, they were extra careful. But then another accident happened. One quiet afternoon.
What is it? Is it?
It's coming. Oh.
After the second miscarriage, Isabella stared blankly, barely holding on. Tom watched helplessly. But then came the boat and that baby girl, like an angel, and Isabella started smiling again. That baby became her whole world. How could Tom break her heart again with rules after all she'd been through? He chose to be selfish. to keep someone else's baby. This former veteran, who had never disobeyed a military order, dug a grave with a guilty conscience amid his shame and torture, buried the man's body, destroyed evidence of their presence, and then filed a report claiming his wife had given birth prematurely, pretending all was normal on the isolated island. In the end, they managed to fool everyone. Even the monthly supply workers believed their shoddy lie, that this baby, who already looked months old, was their premature child. As time passed, Isabella seemed to forget what had happened at sea, truly loving the infant as her own biological child. Even Tom, on the surface, grew accustomed to her presence, sinking into the warm and happy parent-child life. They walked along the beach together, swam in the bay, collected eggs from the chicken coop, herded sheep on the grassy slopes, and gazed out from the lighthouse. The lighthouse's originally monotonous and boring life became full of joy and hope because of little Lucy's presence. Only in the countless sleepless nights did Tom's heart, tormented by his integrity and principles, reveal itself. He feared this was just an illusory dream that would sooner or later be pierced by reality, and he feared even more that their stolen parent-child time came at the cost of harming others. Everything began to spiral out of control the day they took 2-year-old Lucy back to the town they had left years earlier for her christening at the church. Like fate was pulling him, Tom wandered to the cemetery and saw a grieving woman in the distance. By the time he got there, she was gone, but the tombstone made him wonder the worst.
You all right, my friend? You ever hear of Hannah Potts? Yeah, she married this German fellow named Frank. One night, Hannah and Frank were harassed by some of the locals.
As the old man talked, Tom put it all together. And the more he heard about Hannah, the worse he felt. They'd stolen Hannah's life, and seeing Isabella happy with Lucy just made the guilt worse. How could he choose between his wife and the truth? Tom was torn. He wrote Hannah a note, "Your daughter's alive," and went back to the island, pretending they were happy. Maybe Tom didn't even know what the truth was anymore. Maybe he just wanted to believe the lie. But that note drove Hannah crazy. She searched everywhere, coming up empty, falling deeper into despair. Years later, when they came back for Tom's award, he saw Hannah in the crowd, looking broken. He realized the note hadn't helped, their selfish choice had destroyed her. So Tom decided to come clean, return the baby, make things right.
Where's Lucy?
Play?
Do what I say. And it'll be all right.
What are you talking about?
You'll be safe.
What have you done? You let me.
Isabel.
When Isabella figured out what Tom was doing, she lost it, hatred burning in her. No one was taking her baby. But it was too late. Cops showed up, and Tom got arrested for murdering Hannah's husband and kidnapping the baby. Lucy was ripped from their arms and given back to Hannah. Isabella hated Tom for deciding this. So when they charged him with crimes he didn't commit, she stayed silent. The lighthouse guided ships, but it couldn't light their way out of this mess. Caught in love and hate, everyone stayed silent.
Wake up.
I've had this coming for a long time, Ralph.
To Hannah, they were the ones who'd ruined her life. They deserved to pay. But was she happy now? No. Lucy didn't see her as mom. The people at the lighthouse, they were family. Forced into a strange home, Lucy couldn't be fixed by Hannah's love. Nothing could replace Isabella. One day, Lucy snuck away. Hannah searched like crazy, got the whole town looking, but night came and no Lucy. Fear and guilt ate away at her. Finally, thanks to Tom's tip, cops found the girl at the stormy shore. She tried to hike back home but passed out from exhaustion and placed her gently into Hannah's arms. Hannah was over the moon to have her back, but looking at Lucy's tired, restless face, she knew the kids still didn't see her as family. Hannah started wondering if she'd messed up. Meanwhile, Isabella opened Tom's last letter from jail. Every word was full of how much he loved her, how he'd always tried to protect her. Isabella finally got it. She'd been so wrong. Tom had loved her all along, steady as that lighthouse. She ran to the dock, stopping the cops just in time, and spilled everything.
Frank was dead when the boat washed up. It was my idea. I stopped him from reporting the boat. It's my fault.
Hannah looked at her husband's photo and remembered asking him once, How do you stay so positive after everything we've lost? He'd said, you gotta forgive, or hatred will eat you alive. Keep you stuck in pain forever. So when she knew the whole story, Hannah chose to let it go. She dropped the charges against them. They'd all been screwed over by fate, but the love they had for each other finally guided them out of the darkness, helped them make peace with what happened.